Hey everybody, welcome to the first official episode of the Corporate Gamer podcast. I'm your host, Corporate Gamer. Hope to get you up to date on a few key items in the gaming industry, news stories that came out in the last week. Hope you guys had a great week. I know that I was down and out for the last week. Down, I don't know if it was a bug or whatever the case may be. I watched a lot of MacGyver episodes, the original. I have them on DVD, and I must have watched about 10 episodes. I was pretty much one with the couch for a few days. So that was pretty much my week. So I didn't get to play a lot of games. I did play. I continued playing the Force Unleashed on Xbox One, which was originally released for the 360. I still like it. I got stuck at a certain point, and I just didn't have the patience, and I just shut off the console. It happens from time to time. I also tried to. I have my original Xbox hooked up, and I wanted to play an old school game that I hadn't played in a long time, and I popped in Spy Hunter, which. It's one of the platinum hits that from Midway, which actually includes the original Spy Hunter, which is actually pretty sweet. However, I didn't remember how bad the controls were for Spy Hunter. The graphics looked decent for the time. They were pretty good. The gameplay is, pretty much mission based, and you kind of have to do certain missions and complete certain tasks before you can finish a mission, which is fine. It's either you pass or you fail. However, the controls are just atrocious. Probably because I've been used to playing with the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One, where the left trigger is the accelerator and you brake with the right trigger. So you accelerate with the right trigger and you brake with the left trigger, and then you steer with the sticks. That's not the case. It's actually pretty weird. You accelerate with the A button. You shoot with the two shoulder buttons. There's actually only two in the original Xbox. So you shoot, one is to shoot bullets and so on and so forth, and I just couldn't get used to the fact that you accelerate with the button A. I kept always wanting to press the button, and that kind of screwed up all my timing for my jumps and so on and so forth, so I kind of lost patience with that within an hour. I don't remember it being that difficult to play at the beginning, but apparently I have to get back into it and play it a little bit more to just see what it is. I don't think I've ever completed this game. I think I got close though. I got so frustrated that I just gave up at one point and I never played it again. But hey, this is another time. So I figured I can pop this back in and play it again. Other than that, nothing much. On the phone, I've been playing. I haven't downloaded anything new. I kind of been playing Cribbage, Rayman Adventure. Also, I actually really like Rayman Adventure, which actually came out before Mario Run. I like the Rayman games. I have them on Xbox 360. I have it on Xbox One, and even I think a few weeks ago it was free on the for Xbox Live Gold. So I've been playing that. It's pretty good actually. It's pretty fluid. I have to get used to the fact that I don't have a joystick. I have to use my screen, and you jump and so on and so forth. But the idea is exactly the same, and I think it's done a little bit better than Mario Run. Don't get me wrong, Mario Run is really fun, and I didn't actually buy the full version. My wife did, and she's been enjoying it a lot. She actually paid the full version. But other than that, that's pretty much what I played for the week. So let's get into the news of the week, starting with Alienware came out with a new laptop called the Alienware 13R3, and it's, for the longest time, Alienware has been the standard for gaming PCs for those that didn't want to build their own PCs. And I'll be honest, from my perspective, I've been, I used to love building my own PCs. I have always wanted to, I was always gung ho about building the components and everything. The problem with that is that you always have to upgrade, and even to this day, there's always something better, new, and more advanced. To play the most recent games, you have to always be up to date. It's not as bad as it used to be in the 90s, but it's still pretty more advanced as at least console is. And I completely understand consoles will always be behind the curve for graphics and for so on. PC is always going to be, the benchmark. But in my mind, if the gameplay is good, then people will play the game. So regardless of the graphics, Call of Duty, whatever the case may be, they still look good on an Xbox One. Probably, there's better games out there that, Crysis and so on and so forth, that are better on PC and they look spectacular. That's great. But the amount of effort I have to put into upgrading always keeping up to date with my hardware, for me personally, it's not worth it. If I was single and I had time, maybe if I was back in college, I would have loved doing that. But for now, that's not really a good investment of my time. So coming back to Alienware, they're actually one of the standard for Alien. They came out with a new laptop, and to be quite honest, it looks pretty sweet. From what I can see right here, it's a VR ready system, so it's powerful enough to actually, play a VR system. They don't actually specify. Okay, so they actually do specify. I'm reading the laptopmag.com article about this. The reason why it can support both the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive, it's the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 GPU, and it has 6 gigabytes of VRAM, which is actually pretty cool. And all you need to do is plug in your Oculus Rift, and it should be ready to go. Apparently, personally for me, I'm not a big VR guy, so that's not probably a selling point for me, but I know that it's something that apparently it's kind of popular. I'm not sure how popular it is, but according to PlayStation, they sold almost 1 million units of VR. So I'm assuming that there is some kind of intrigue out there. The problem is I just don't find there's a lot of games, real games. A lot of it are just really big demos, and my personal experience with VR has been very lackluster in a sense that I get headaches and I get nausea. Apparently the HTC Vive is actually really, really good. But I haven't tried it, so I wouldn't know. The graphics on the screen is actually pretty sweet. It's 2560 by 1400 at 56 frames per second. At high settings. That's pretty good. I'm not going to get into the too much of detail. However, the battery life is at 6 hours, give or take. And it's 2-3 hours max if you put in like a really intense game, which is not great. However, most people that play with, their Alienware, they're going to be at home and they're going to have it plugged in. So that's not an issue. Apparently the audio is very, very good. They've actually improved on it. The base model price is $979.99, which I'm assuming is bare bones. It can go up to roughly around $2,100 as per the specs. Actually, no, it's $2,700. Sorry, with up to 1 terabyte SSD drive, which is pretty intense. That's probably where most of the price is going to. It's an OLED display. So yeah, it seems pretty cool from this. From what I'm seeing on the pictures, it looks like the screen is very, very vibrant. But then again, that's only, it's a picture. It doesn't look overly clunky, unlike the old Alienware, which have been really, really clunky in the past. However, it looks to be seasonably, sized for the machine that is, or the power that you're getting. Looks pretty sweet. I don't know if I would buy it myself. I game mostly on consoles now. I do have Steam, and I do game occasionally on old games from Steam, but it doesn't require a lot of power. It's a lot of 90s games, which could probably fit on a very small USB drive at this point. So that's the Alienware 13R3 OLED laptop. All right, next story on the list. Halo split screen is coming back. So there was an announcement this week that one of the features that was removed from Halo 5 was the split screen. And apparently there was such an uproar that they decided to bring it back, which is fine. I didn't think it was lacking because I don't think, most people that I know don't have Halo. And, it doesn't really bother me. I like to play the single player mostly. I know I'm in the minority for this, but I'm not a very big multiplayer guy. And to play online, I always get demolished. I always respawn somewhere and I get killed right away. It's just the nature of how I play, I guess. So yeah, they're bringing that back. Doesn't excite me too much, but it seems to be something that a lot of fans were there was an uproar for, and 343 Industries listened to the players and they decided to include this, and they said that from now on, every Halo game that's going to come out is going to have that feature, I guess, that people became accustomed to. So, split screen is back for Halo. Story number 3, Nintendo Switch OS. So there's been quite a few. Last week there was some outlets received their Nintendo Switch review unit. I guess IGN, and there was a few others. And we got to see the UI from the OS, and they also got to play some Zelda as well. From what I've seen, it looks very simple interface, like a very simple interface, but like the Google approach. It doesn't seem to vary very much from what we've grown to know from the Wii and Wii U. It's very straightforward. You get to customize your Mii. The options are still the same. The one thing, I've watched 2 videos on YouTube, and I didn't find one instance where it actually shows you where you can download. However, there is an area for an update, and that wasn't working because it's not hooked up yet, or that site's not up. So that was missing, but I didn't see a place where you can actually download and play. But I'm assuming it's going to be either an app or something very simple to the Virtual Console, and you'll be able to download. It's a very bland, unlike and I say this not in a bad way. Sometimes I find the PlayStation and even the Xbox, there's too much going on the screen, and you kind of don't know where you're supposed to click. Whereas that is not really true on the Wii. On the Switch, Nintendo Switch. It seems to be very simple. You have a few options, play the game, and that's it. So that's for that. I have to admit, it's pretty cool. So my personal opinion is that it looks pretty similar. There's nothing that was wowing about how the interface looks. I didn't get to play Breath of the Wild, but I'm assuming that it looks pretty good. However, I don't think it was enough for me to buy it on day one. But hey, we'll see how it goes. I know I have a lot of friends that are very psyched about the Switch, and they're probably going to buy it day one if they can find one. I hope there's not going to be any shortages. And so the list of games for the Wii U. You have 1-2 Switch, Fast RMX, Just Dance 2017, Human Resource Machine, I Am Setsuna, Little Inferno, Shovel Knight, Skylanders Imaginators, Snipper Clips, Super Bomberman R, of course, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and World of Goo. Those are day one. Apparently, these are day one releases. So the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is also going to be released on the Wii U. It's released on the same day. Just Dance 2017, I'm pretty sure that's also released on the Wii U. Don't think it's going to make much of a difference. I don't think it's one of those games that shows the power and the graphics of the new machine. But hey, there's a few fun games in there. Shovel Knight is in there. Obviously Zelda. Super Bomberman I would be interested in. Shovel Knight as well. So it's not too bad for day one. I mean, it's a pretty... At least they have more than one game on day one. More than I thought they would have. But let's see if they can keep up with that release capability of having more games per quarter than they had on the Wii U. And also the Wii U did have a lot of games come out, but they weren't AAA games. At least, a lot of them were party games. There were a few indie games, but the majority of the games, I mean, you buy a Switch to play the Nintendo games. The developers for Nintendo kind of let go of the Wii U towards the end of its life, probably the last year or so. And they concentrated a lot on the games or producing games for the Switch. I think they're putting a lot of promotion and eggs in their basket for making this a success. Is the potential there? Yes. Will it make money? Yes. Especially on day one. Will that transfer to, sales longevity of the system? That's yet to see. But there's a lot of people that are going to buy The Legend of Zelda on day one, and that's one of the reasons why they're buying the system. And probably the ones that have the Wii U, chances are they're gonna wait until probably Mario, which is by next Christmas. The problem is are we gonna be able to find a Nintendo Switch by next Christmas? That's yet to be seen. So that was the Nintendo Switch OS. Seems to be nice, sleek, simple, no bells and whistles, just what you've known from Nintendo. Some will like it, some will hate it, but I'm actually neutral to it. I'm more interested in the gameplay and the games that are being released for the system, and I hope to have that. I hope that I'm gonna have that by the end of the year, so maybe I'll pick it up. Especially if there's a lot of first-person games that we can play with two people, and I can play with my wife. That'd be pretty sweet. All right. Next on the list, March video game releases. All right, so I already said that on March 3rd, there's going to be the release of the Nintendo Switch, and the games that I outlined previously are going to be released on the same day, on day one. March 7th, there's a game called Lego World, which will be released on the PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One. Basically, from everywhere that I've seen, it's a Minecraft with Legos, which essentially is Minecraft. But you're using a Lego skin, essentially. Too little, too late? I'm not sure. I think everybody that's played a video game has played Minecraft at one point in time. At least the numbers say that that's the case. And I'm hoping that people pick up this game. I may try it out eventually if it's on Steam for like $5. But for now, I don't think I'm gonna really pick that up. The next on the list is a PlayStation exclusive called Nier Automata. Set in a war-torn, post-apocalyptic world, the game follows a female presenting combat android named 2B. Very original. She's joined by masculine 9S, who fights alongside her against the gigantic machines that are ravaging the abandoned Earth. Here's the Tokyo Game Show trailer. So Polygon has a trailer, a link to their trailer. Video of the game, yeah. So essentially, it's a post-apocalyptic machine war type of game. We've had this before. I don't know I don't know how it's going to be. I don't have a PlayStation 4, so I won't be able to play it. But hey, if you guys have played it, let me know in the comments. See how it is. I'm hoping that it's pretty good. It looks, at least from the few images that I've seen, it looks pretty sweet. But I can't say if it's for the gameplay as well. Next on the list, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, also on March 7th. It's available on PlayStation 4, Windows PC, Xbox One. I'm pretty sure that everybody kind of knows what this game's about. It's a Ghost Recon game. It's the same of the old stuff, just a different place, I guess. March 14th, we have... Wow, I can't pronounce this name. Danganronpa 1 and 2 Reload on PlayStation 4. Apparently it's won cult acclaim. I can't really say because I actually have no clue what this game is. So I will refrain from saying anything about this game. It looks very cartoonish from what I can see, or anime-ish, really. Yeah, March 21st. One of the most anticipated games of March, or at least of the spring, Mass Effect Andromeda, available on the PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One. It's the fourth game in the series of Mass Effect. I've seen some preliminary gameplay from IGN, and it seems to... Some of the combat mechanics seem to be a little bit different from previous games, so I'm not sure if that's going to throw off people or that's going to actually make them happy. It's one of those single-player, story-driven games, and I'm looking forward to actually playing this. Not sure if I'm going to buy it first day that it comes out, but I'm hoping to pick it up at one point. I've been in a need of a single-player ever since I finished Deus Ex. Mankind Divided. I've been looking for a single player. I love single player and story driven games, so this is right up my alley. So, this looks good across all fronts. Next, for the Nintendo 3DS, Mario Sports Superstars. This Mario-themed sporting event collection will feature baseball, golf course racing, soccer, and tennis. So that's going to be on the 3DS. March 28th, we have Dark Souls 3, The Ringed City. It's going to be available on PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One. Fans of Dark Souls are going to really like this. And, Next one is Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 2.5 Remix on the PlayStation 4. It's already been released on other platforms as well. MLB Show 17 on the PlayStation 4. I'm assuming there's going to be a similar version for the Xbox, and if not, there's probably going to be some kind of baseball game on the Xbox. But this one is, in particular, is PlayStation 4, getting released in March. And the last game is going to be Strafe on Linux, Mac OS, PlayStation 4, and Windows PC. Basically, it's an old school Doom-like game, 90s shooter type of game, and that's going to be released probably on Steam. I'm not sure, but usually when it's Windows PC, there's Steam involved. So yeah, those are your releases for the month of March. And one last piece of news for the week. I don't think it's going to impact a lot of people, but for those who have a Twitch account and that stream and that have had a username that you've wanted to change for a while, well, Twitch just decided to allow username change. So you're able to change your username. So with a verified email address, it'll give you the opportunity to edit your username, where previously that wasn't the case. It doesn't change for me. I went from Corporate 1 to Corporate Gamer because I signed up before I was doing reviews and so on and so forth. So I got a chance to change it. It doesn't change the world, but hey, it's something that was not available, and that's available now, and could be important to you if you're a streamer on Twitch. So that's it for the news of the week, for the week of February 28th, 2007. You can, if you wanted to follow me on my different, places where you can follow me, you can subscribe to my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/corporate1, probably Corporate Gamer now. Since I've changed it, I have to change my link. You can like my Facebook page at www.facebook.com/corporategamer. My Twitter handle is twitter.com/corporategamer9. And you can also look at my reviews with my fellow friends at aroundtable.ca at www.aroundtable.ca, where you can have entertainment news. That's where I have my reviews posted up. The last review that I did was for Electronic Entertainment Expo, Civilians Allowed, which allowed, I spoke about it last week, where they allowed regular non-press people to go to E3. They opened up the floor to them. It's my thoughts on that. In addition, this week from my friends, we have a few reviews on retro reviews on Fleetwood Mac, as well as Lockout, the movie Lockout that came out in 2012. So that's it. So you can go to aroundtable.ca, look at my reviews. If you like it, comment on anywhere on Twitter, Facebook, or wherever you see this podcast, and I hope you liked it, and let me know about your feedback. Either you like it or you're not. So have a good week, and see you next week.